Hello guys, so we'll be learning about principles of travel, leisure and recreation. So our syllabus code was CUTE 101, which is a CAT travel, leisure and recreation syllabus 101. So without wasting much of your time, let's move in to today's work. So you see here, this is a floating boat which was discovered by the Europeans. It's like they made this, it's more like an air hotel. So you see this kind of aeroplane is an aeroplane hotel. It goes up in the sky and then it stays there for about 3 months in the sky. So this is mostly enjoyable by millionaires. People with high disposable incomes are the only people who can afford this kind of things. So this is an example. So about introduction of the travel, leisure and recreation. Well, in 1989 defines as is an industry, a number of firms that produce similar goods and goods therefore are in competition with another. However, the businesses in the travel and tourism offer complementary rather than competing products and services, e.g., airline, hotel, restaurant, travel agents, attraction do not compete with each other. They complete they complete right. And then so about this kind of this section, it tries to define about the travel and tourism and leisure and recreation on this part. So according to 1889, a number of firms that produce similar goods and services therefore are in competition not with another. So it's more like in travel and tourism, the thing is like this: these people are not in competition because they are products, in other ways, hence they are complementary. Like say the products depends on one to another. So that's it about this part. The products depend on one to another. Let's say for example, a travel agent depends on the accommodation facility people, depends on the car rental people, depends on the food suppliers, depends on the activity providers, something like that, and depends on the airlines. So that's what it is. For a tourist to enjoy, he has to go through all these services. So that's why they say they are not competing products, but they are complementary, which means that they depend on each other. Like they are consumed with another. Let's take an instance of bread and margarine, bread and jam, a car and petrol. These are more slightly example of complementary products. So let's slide up. And then so there's a thing about the industry, right? So the travel and tourism recreation industry is made up of the following service providers. The travel part it goes like the transport, airlines, railways, cruise lines, coaches, accommodation. It classes hotels, motels, lodges, campsites, and then the attractions. These determine the type of activity one can take at a destination. There are intermediaries, the tour operators, travel agents, the government and its institutions, and the ministries, international organizations, regional organizations. So these are examples on the transport. We have the airlines, these are examples. Accommodation, we have hotels. Then on the attractions, these are the things which make which draws the attention of a tourist to come to a particular place. Let's for example, Dubai is an attraction. Like see what is there, what draws people to come to Dubai. It's like the building, the environment of Dubai. It draws a lot of people want to come to Dubai. So that's it about attraction. About intermediaries, these are like the people who connect services. Like for example, a travel agent works on behalf with the airline, right? With the airlines, the hotels. So it's like the intermediary. Someone from China go through. All right, let's put it this way. For someone who is in China who wants to go to Zimbabwe can go through a travel agent. Then the travel agent will book the e-ticket. Then this is the work of intermediaries. It's like someone who is in between to get something. It's like in between. That's why I say agents. So these are like the tour operators. The tour operators, they package holiday packages, like say the accommodation, activities, transport altogether. Usually they say it as a service. Like say if you want to go to Nyanga, you need to pay $200, and then it includes the accommodation, the transport, and the activities for just 200. These are examples of tour operator packages. Then about travel agent, usually books things concerning with the travel, mainly like visa, prepayments, booking e-tickets in the GDS, right? And then the government and institutions, yeah, they are there, and the international organizations. I hope you familiarized with the World Tourism Organization, and regional organizations like Ritosa is for the Southern Africa. It consists of countries like Zimbabwe, South Africa, Namibia, Mozambique, countries like that. Then we continue. All right, to continue on the relationship between the travel, tourism, and hospitality industries. The confusion between the terms travel and tourism and hospitality could mislead researchers. PSM 2009. Therefore, it is a critical clarifier on these terms and their relationship with another. So, the services provided by the travel and hospitality industries are partly for tourism purposes. They are also non-tourist consumer in both the travel and hospitality. Yeah, in most cases, I hope you can see this diagram very well. Like say it's not always when someone travels will be traveling for tourism reasons. Mostly to be just taking their travel. So you have the commuters, local travelers, migrants, students. These are like you coming from Harare, coming to Chinoy. This is an example of students doing that kind of traveling. Yeah, so it's non-tourism. Then for tourism, we have trains, ferries, airlines, bus coach, car rental, and about tourism, we have the travel trade, attractions, destination marketing, tourism planning and development, and then for the hospitality, which is hospitality, we have lodging, restaurants, timeshare, events. And then for which is non-tourism, non-hospitality, we have clubs, institutes, foods. For example, like CAT, Chinoy University canteen is like institution food service. It doesn't do things with tourism. It's just for there to just cater for students. For students are food welfare, and then for assisted living facility, that kind of that. So I hope you understood that this is a relationship between the tourism, hospitality, and travel industries, adapted from PISAM 2009. This is a scholar who came up with this aspect of this. You see, so for you to get to know this aspect, number one, you have to know that something which is not tourist, like clubs, institution, food, assisted living, is non-tourist, so it doesn't connect with tourism. Then which connects with tourism on hospitality and tourism, they connect by lodging, restaurants, timeshare, and events, something like that, right? Then about tourism, you have to know about the travel trade, the attraction. So mainly tourism is about hosting people, into say hosting people, and making it their main reason or their main goal to come to a destination, like travel trade, attractions, destination marketing, tourism planning and development, something like that. And then yeah, so that's it about this diagram. I hope I tried to explain it well. And then we'll slide into slide number 7 with the definition terms. What is travel? Travel is the movement of people from one place to another. Again, this is self-explanatory. And then about recreation, this refers to the activities that we undertake during leisure time for the purpose of enjoyment outside our work time or normal duties. There is an emotional feeling, well-being, satisfaction during recreation. Therefore, it is associated with amusement and pleasure. On this, it's like to say on the recreation, it's like when we are off from our normal day-to-day routines, day-to-day duties. It's like we can go to Majika Day, Kariba, like for leisure, something like that. You see, like Majika Day to do some interactional games, like to play soccer. Yeah, that's kind of recreation which you're talking about, like going to some places for just refreshment of your mind, of your mind, and chilling out there, hanging out with friends. This is something like that. And then about tourism, the World Tourism Organization defines tourism as activities. Sorry. Excuse me, I'm back. So about tourism, it's about the World Tourism Organization defines tourism as activities of persons traveling to and staying in places outside their usual environment for not more than one consecutive year for leisure, business, and other purposes not relating to the exercise of activity renouement from within the place visited. So in this case, like this, the WTO, the World Tourism Organization, defines tourists like for someone who stays for not more than one consecutive year will be ranked as a tourist. Then about leisure, where leisure can be described in the various forms. Leisure is time. This is the time left after work, after other normal duties, obligations, and this is oftenly referred to as a free time. And then about the leisure, activity refers to activities that we engage in either actively, passively, watching TV, sports, going out for a meal, gardening. This is an activity. It's like you're taking leisure as an activity, doing something like watching TV, sports, going out for a meal, gardening, doing some sort of work. Then about leisure as a particular quality of experience. Provides the opportunity to do your own thing, like have fun, exercise, and do for it. It's like on these things, like you may go for library, like you're doing particular for quality experience, like you're going to watch soccer, something like that, you know. So about activity is like you are participating in it, right? Activity, you are participating in it. That's why I say watching soccer, going out for a meal, you are taking part. Then about particular quality experience, it's like you'll be sitting like in the terrace watching soccer, something like that. Yeah, like watching some of these games live, and the rest and recuperation from work to relieve stress and strains from modern life. So this is about resting, which you take. And then about that definition, we have we have the visitor is defined as any person traveling to a place other than that of his or her usual environment for less than 12 months and whose main purpose of trip is other than the exercise of an activity ruminated within the place visited. Right? You get it? Right. So a visitor is someone who just go out of his environment. Let's, for example, you're Zimbabwean, you just go out of Zimbabwe, going to Ghana. You are now a visitor. You are going out of your environment which you are used to, right? And then about the tourist is temporarily visitor staying for at least 24 hours in the country visited, and the purpose whose journey can be classified under the following: leisure, health, study, region, sports, business, family. VFR means visiting friends and relatives. So I guess this self-explanatory. Like you are traveling for reasons like this, like leisure. You're going for leisure to fresh up your mind. You're going for healthy, to get medication. In India, in example, you're going for study. You're going to Harvard University in the US. And then about religion, it's like you're going for pilgrimage. Say that if you're a Christian, you're going to Jerusalem. If you're a Muslim, you're going to city of Mecca in Saudi Arabia. Then about sports, it's like you are going to UK in the England to watch soccer match. Then about business, like you're traveling to Dubai to do a business seminar, business forum, international business forum there. Then about visiting friends and relatives, like you're traveling to South Africa, see your friends there. And then about executionist, it's like temporary visitor staying less than 24 hours in the destination visited. Like for example, like you traveling to Mukwisu Lands, or you traveling to Lake Chivero. You are not a tourist, you are just an excursionist, but you're a temporary visitor for less than 24 hours. You just go there and share with your friends, then just get out of the environment, just like that. Then we move on to slide 10. Then about destination is defined in so many ways: a geographical region, political justification, and a major attraction which seeks to provide visitors with a range of satisfying, memorable visitation experiences, according to Baumholz and Rich Sheehan 2009. These are the scholars who support this aspect of definition of destination. Then it is more effective to view a destination as that geographical region which contains a sufficient critical mass or a cluster of attractions so as to be capable of providing tourists with visitations, experiences that attract them to the destination for tourism purposes. So this is like the direct explanation about this type thing, right? And then on the next slide, according to Webster, so these are like the scholars who try to define. So let's just check on the geographical area, a local location, resort, region, country, continent. This is an example of it. So a destination, it may be a country, it may be a location, it may be a resort, a region, a country, continent. Africa is a destination, Zimbabwe is a destination, Caribbean is a destination. These are the examples, something like that. And then for economic marketing purposes, a tourist destination is more than a mere geographical place. It is a amalgamation of products, services, natural resources, artificial elements, and information that is able to attract a number of visitors into the place. Right? I guess you get it. Like a destination, it is an amalgamation of products and services. Like a destination consists of activities, the activities, the food, restaurants, the bars. So it's like the whole, like a township of things. Like all things are there, and then it's like there's ancillary. There's ancillary. Ancillary simply means like the things which you do not travel for, like say like the banks, the insurance, something like that, the police, the hospitals. Yeah, you do not travel for that, but you need those things during your stay. If you get sick, you just go to the hospital. So these are some of the things which you find in a destination, right? So about inbound tourism, our visits to a country by non-residents of that country. So yeah, I guess this self-explanatory. Like say the inbound is like when people coming from Germany to Zimbabwe. This is inbound tourism. Then outbound tourism, outbound international tourism is like when Zimbabweans are going to Germany. So I said inbound tourism is like when German people are coming to Zimbabwe. That's inbound international tourism. Then outbound international tourism is like when the Zimbabweans are going out to Germany. That's now outbound tourism. So domestic tourism is like visits by the residents within their country. For example, you as a Zimbabwean traveling to Nyanga, Kariba, Victoria Falls, Nyamapanda, something like that. Then about internal tourism, it's like domestic plus inbound. So it's like a domestic, you traveling to Nyanga as a Zimbabwean, and then inbound international visits is like you. It's like a German person coming to Zimbabwe. That's now inbound international tourism. So visits by residents and non-residents within a country. The national tourism is like domestic plus outbound. So it's like domestic, the people from Zimbabwe moving to destinations within their country, and then outbound is like a Zimbabwean traveling outside Zimbabwe, like Zimbabwean traveling South Africa, Nigeria, Ethiopia, and Tanzania, Kenya, Canada, US, something like that. Then visits by the residents of a country within their own and others. So this is what I've explained. Let's move to the next slide. Then we have the historical development of travel, leisure, and recreation. So people have traveled throughout history for many different reasons. Before the end of the 18th century, and the few wealthy could engage in travel and tourism, right? And now travel and tourism has developed into an activity that many ordinary people now consider as a necessity. It's like you and your family are traveling to Nyanga during the Christmas time. It's like taking it as a necessity for the refreshment purposes of you guys. Like just go there, chill, enjoy your time, having time there, having some sports, enjoying, watching, doing activities, something like that. Bungee jumping, bomber dinner, sunset, something like that. Yeah, the game drive, this kind of things, taking it as a necessity for your refreshments are there. And then And then about history. This is the history, like this history consists of when the travelers were walking used donkeys and camels, then horses. In the 17th century, the stage coaches was a primary mode of transport, which were slow, expensive, and uncomfortable, poorly maintained. And these were the horse-drawn. So it's like in the 17th century, the travelers used to make use of horse-drawn as a means of transport. And then by the 1815, the advent of weather roads and made traveling roads a bit faster and comfortable. Around 1815, the seaside resorts became popular tourist destinations due to emergence of middle class and steamship travel, which was faster than in the stage of coach and could carry more people. So by this to say, there was a steam ship travel, a steamship. This a steamship is like a ship which was powered by steam. It was meant there for the easy traveling of people moving from one place to another. It's like, as you know what I've mentioned before, travel means traveling from one place to another. This is travel. And then about development of passenger trains in 1830, stepped up visits to one scheduled destination. And then we continue. More and cheap passenger trains and high capacity, about 500 people traveling easier. So there was an innovation of this steamship could carry the capacity of 500 people traveling, making it easier. Then there was the introduction of cheaper forms of transport, especially road transport. Buses appeared between in 1918 to 1939, lead to door-to-door delivery of passengers, increasing participation in tourism. So there was an increase in participation in tourism by this innovation which has taken place before. And then the introduction of passenger planes around 1928. Later, the larger planes made traveling of far away distances cheaper and faster and convenient for the past ordinary tourists. So there was a greater car ownership in the Second World War, brought flexibility to tourism participation, and more people participated within them. That so it's like the use of innovation of cars. Excuse me. And then so the use of innovation of cars, or for such as this the 4D. The 4D was made in the early 90s. And then the Mercedes was made a long time ago. So these are the examples of the ownership during the World War. Like, that the Germany, they came up with the 4D in the 90s. And then we have the spa. Like, most of you are well familiar with this word spa. Like, say you're going for spa, like for massage, something like that, for recreation purpose. Recreation, like I said, it means like what you take during your spare time. Like, say you're for leisure, you just go there for massage. Like, you're refreshing yourself, like making you forget some other things, to refreshing yourself from stressy, painy, something like that. So on this spa is an acronym for Spanish word cenope aqua, which means water-based treatment, right? So in the early 1900th century, inland spas, early seaside resorts were fashionable, and with wealthy, so it's elite and natural springs with hot water, popular, known as spas, were believed in many mineral water that cares the variety of elements. Hence, if people flow from one place or another, people share like that. So this is like when people used to travel, like for tourism, for healthy, like say nowadays people are now traveling to India for their operations, something like that. Then later, the wealthy with no need for lucrative waters were visited with the sparse towns for the season, to attend concerts and dances in assembly halls and to shop, right? So people are now like traveling for shopping. and then the early recorded spas could be popular with tourists a bath in the morning in the early hundreds. Yeah. So this is a basic thing about the traveling tourism. So people are traveling for healthy. People are traveling for 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 concert, music, something like that. This was like development of tourism back then. Then about the seaside coast, as a part of tourism developed as a result of the brief of that sea bathing, drink seawater were beneficial to healthy. These are the aspects which have driven out more traffic to participate in the travel and tourism. So that's it. The development of the 1700s and the late popularized by the introduction of steam travel. First, they were visited mainly by the rich using the stage coaches. Seaside resorts were modeled around in the inland and spas and had libraries, assembly rooms, and bathrooms, etc. By 1980, the seaside holidaying by poor class was becoming fashionable. It's like people were like traveling there for the seaside and coastal resorts is a result of belief that sea bathing and drinking seawater were beneficial to health. So this has driven out more traffic wants to participate in tourism, something like that. But the rich using the stagecoaches, this was the modern of transport which has been used there by people, and then there was development of libraries, assembly rooms, bar rooms, and spas. Yeah, something like that. This was developed there, and then we have development of this last aspect, guys. For today, forgive me, this last aspect which I'm going to drop down to you. Lastly, so in 1841, the British carpenter and Baptist missionary Thomas Cook arranged transportation for 570 rail passengers to attend to Temperance Convention, and he chartered a train from Library and to Leicester, and passengers were treated to tea, fresh bread, buns, and brass band music. So this was the more entertainment, more of entertainment in the train. Like whilst you are eating, you are enjoying your music along your way. So the fare was